Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Sudismruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Lokashankaram Samasta Jana Kalyani Nirtam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Om Sri Tapona Sishyaya Namaha Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Let us chant the Shanti Patha for Ishavasya Upanishad. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Now we are doing the Ishavasya Upanishad. We completed 8 mantras so far. Mantras 3 to 8 highlight the Jnana Marga, which is primarily focused on the nature of the self, or Nivritti Marga. It's also called Nivritti Marga. Nature of the self meaning what is the true nature of the entire reality of the world. That includes every one of us also. That is the true nature. In that world of objects appear. So when you say the world of objects appear in that, it means the reality is provided by that truth to everything that appears. So last week there was a question, what do we mean by existence? Existence is the reality. If you take the reality out of a thing, the thing ceases to exist. What is that in this whole universe? If we take that out, nothing exists. Our rishis have said that is Sat. Existence itself. What do you mean, existence itself? But I see this highlighter is existing. What our rishis saying, you see that my body is existing, but our rishis are saying these things have borrowed existence, like a wave. And the borrowed existence becomes reality because of our mind, because we are looking at it through the glasses of our mind. When we withdraw our attention from our mind, then you suddenly realize you are that peace that pervades everything, that passes understanding. Then from that I, if you look down, then you realize everything, including you, is just borrowing existence from that reality. So reality of the whole universe is Sat. Now, when you know that, it also Chit. So these two are not separate. They are not separated. They cannot be separated. Sati Chit, Chit is Sat. So you know you exist. Now, if you go back to your existential level, then you realize your body exists in you. Your mind exists in you. What do you mean by that? Without your existence, your mind cannot think. What do you mean by that? In deep sleep, do you know your mind? You know you are not lighting your mind. Then the same thing, the whole universe. Basically, we are all that pervading truth. First, that is the truth. Then in that, everything appears. when you first identify, go back to your true nature and then look back, then whole world appears in you. You have a choice to be attached to something or not to be attached to something. Okay? That's how it is. So that is the summary of verses number. So we learned what is the Atma, nature of Atma. As I said, the truth of everything. And then we also learned it is the self-luminous. Doesn't, nobody has to remind you you exist. Even deep sleep, you exist because when you wake up, your mind realizes you existed there also. It is the witness of all the three states. Without your presence as consciousness, you are not aware of anything in the world. You either waking state, or dream state, or deep sleep. So that is the truth. Okay. Then it is in its nature, it is not contaminated by anything. It is pure being. Contamination comes when you attach something to yourself. So it is asanga. It is pure. Mind contaminates it. When you look through the glasses of the mind, you think you are something different. So when you take the glass, then you get jnana chakshu. It is eternal. There is no death, there is no birth. Death and birth exist for the mind, and then mind also thinks about the body. That's why body also gets death and birth. When you know who you are, you transcend everything. What is the result of knowing who you are? You don't have any moha. You don't have any moha means you don't have any delusion that samsara is real. Happiness comes from outside. You don't have that delusion anymore. You know you are your happiness itself. That is the delusion. So when you think happiness comes from outside and you keep on building on it. Next today you say one house, tomorrow today you say this, tomorrow that, all this kind of thing. But samsara was never giving happiness. Happiness only came when your mind temporarily stopped, when you get some goals. But then something else again disturbs you. And then you also, once you have that knowledge, you don't have any grief, you don't have any hatred, and you don't also have any sorrow. This is the result of knowing that. Okay. So you essentially remain as witness and happy. Things happen because the nature of the prakriti. Things happen. People come and go. You are not, unless you involve. Now, that is the summary of this. One of the words that was used is kavi. Kavi means the omniscient. Last week I mentioned that Bhagavan Krishna borrows this word exactly in the same context in Bhagavad Gita also. I want to go through that quickly. I'm chanting this mantra Vaswaka, verse number 8, chapter number 8, verse number 9. कविं पुराणमनुशासितारम् अनोरणीयान् समनुस्मरेत्यः सर्वस्य धातारमचिन्त्य रूपम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्. Essentially summarizing all the teaching. He says that nature, your true nature, which I call Sat, existence of everything from which everything appears, that is also self-luminous and also omniscient. That's called Kavi. Kavim Puranam. Purana means it is always there. Sanatana. Everything appears in it. So just like gold is always there, ornaments come and go. Anushashitaram. It is also controller. Without your awareness, objects cannot bother you. But if you, by itself, the whole universe you control. Anoraniyam sam, it is subtler than the subtlest. That's why it's all pervading, like space. Sarvasya dhataram, it is the supporter of everything. Everything is stitched in it as though everything borrows existence in it. Like a mirror gives existence to the objects outside. But here there is no objects, just appearance in mirror. Achintya Rupam, it's not object of thought. It is it. Once object of thought comes, mind has come. Aditya Varnam, it is illumining itself. Tamasah Parastat, it is beyond the delusion. And Anusmaredhya, who thinks about that always, means as a witness. Will practice as a witness. Things happen, I am not the doer. That is the one sloka I said Kavi, Bhagavan Sri Krishna also uses that word in the same context as Upanishad. Now, we introduction to mantras 9, 10, 11, also 12, 13, 14. All these 6 mantras are now talking about karma. See, Upanishad talks about primarily a jnana, which is your true nature. But then it also talks about for those who are not qualified directly to associate with the truth. The reason they cannot able to associate is they listen, their mind becomes calm, but then they are not able to revel in it as a witness when they are dealing with the world outside. Because their mind and attachments are so strong, they are not ready to hang on to the truth. But Upanishad would not now say, okay, bye bye, no. It says you have to follow certain practices to enrich your ability to detach through Katrutva Bhavana and then Bhotrutra Bhavana. Katrutva Bhavana means we think happiness comes from outside through delusion, and then we keep on exercising our senses of action in world with the desire to enjoy it for that's called bhotrutva. Bhotrutva is through the objects of perception. But this is the root of it is moha. So now when they are so strong, the Vedanta would not really, because your glasses are so badly tinted, you do not stick. Sometimes you have pretty good feel for it, but then very quickly it will pass. So the karma yoga and upasana are suggested for those people. But once you reach jnana, you should remain as a witness to yourself also. Kartara, bhotata also, you remain as witness. So that's where difference. So initially you need this. Okay. So mantra 9 and 10 and 11 focus on karma yoga and upasana yoga. Upasana means meditation and dhyana. Okay. So I will read mantra 9, 10 and 11 because they go together. Okay. Let us mantra 9 please. Yes. Andhantama pravishanti ye avidyamupasate tato bhuya evate tamaha ya ud vidyayam rataha. I will chant again. Andhantama pravishanti ye avidyayam upasate tato bhuya evate tamaha ya ud vidyayam rataha. Let's go to number 10 also. Very good. अन्यदेवाहुर्विद्यया अन्यदाहुरविद्यया इति शुश्रुमधीराणां येनस्तद्विचचक्षुरे अन्यदेवाहुर्विद्यया अन्यदाहुरविद्यया इति शुश्रुमधीराणां येनस्तद्विचचक्षुरे. Now mantra number 11 please. विद्यायां च यस्तद्वेदो भयं सः अविद्यया मृत्युं तीर्त्वा विद्ययामृतमश्नुते. विद्यां च यस्तद्वेदो भयं सः अविद्यया मृत्युं तीर्त्वा विद्ययामृतमश्नुते. Okay. So now I will explain the meaning of these. Mantra number 9, you see, in the beginning and also I mentioned Ishavasya Upanishad, we don't normally take start with that. At least I do not. The reason for that is the words in this Upanishad do not have direct dictionary meaning or common meaning. It has certain degree of contextual meaning. And then when Mahatmas like Adi Shankaracharya have given written commentary on this, based upon their total understanding of the Upanishads. Such as Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is considered to be an expansion of Ishavasya Upanishad. So languages, words used in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and then you connect back with this. And then some of the words mean something completely different from normal usage. That is number one. Number two, certain certain usages in the Upanishads, they use very strong words. And the reason for that is they want to highlight the value of something and at the expense of by downgrading something else. The intention is not to downgrade whatever they are downgrading, but the intention is to impress upon the value of what they are telling you. So if you don't know these things, you literally understand this Upanishad is very bad. So that is where the Mahatma's commentary comes to value. Here, number 9, 10 and 11 are like that, mantras. So, andham tamaha pravishanti ye avidyam upasate. Tato bhuya evate tamaha ya u vidyayam rataha. What it is saying is here avidya indicates karma. Actually, karma yoga also in this context. But basically, karma and karma yoga. Those who perform this, andhantama pravishanti, they enter or they gain pitch darkness. Means they get buried in darkness. They get loaded in delusion. Andhan tama pravishanti. Tama, very, very darkest, pitch darkness. By following karma, here avidya means karma. So they're condemning karma and karma yoga in the unique way. So you have to unwrap it using the commentaries by Bhagavan Shankaracharya. Tato bhuya evate tamaha. Even greater than that darkness, you you reach vidyayam rataha. Those who follow the knowledge. This is very shocking. They really don't mean that because in the very next mantra they say the path followed by one of them is different from the path results given by the other one. That's they will say next mantra. So they don't mean that it will actually very, very negative. They don't mean that. But they are trying to really highlight the importance of doing them together. That is what we said in mantra number 11. So if you do karma yoga by your itself without having a relationship with Bhagavan, then karma becomes reality. Vritti becomes reality. And they will drive you into the karma, more into sense, sense of, sorry, senses of action and senses of perception. Sense of perception for happiness, sense of actions for activity. So karma by itself, they are condemning it. And vidyaya here means upasana. Upasana means you consider a deity of higher powers, such as Matrudevo Bhava, Pitu Acharya Bhava, other Devajna, Devatas of Shiva, Narayana, whatever Vishnu Devata, Surya Bhagavan, Ganapati Bhagavan, Upasana. Also they are condemning. Here Vidya means Upasana. Upasana means prayer. They are condemning karma and karma yoga, and they are also condemning upasana, means meditation included, on a chosen deity of your choice also. Is that also equally, it's actually worse, they are saying. This is called Nahi Ninda Nyaya. Nahi Ninda Nyaya means the words used are not directly meant to condemn something. Ninda means condemnation. But it is only to glorify something else. Okay. So now in the present context, avidya karma yoga. Okay. Vidya means puja and all that we do. We do chant it can be vachakam, or it can be kayakam, like puja. Kayakam means body. Vachakam means speech, like chanting Vishnu Sahasranama, chanting Lalita Sahasranama, or chanting mantra. Then meditation can be mental, upasana. And that is the glorifying God and then remaining in that trance. So that is called upasana. Here it's called vidya. Those who follow vidya alone, they would go to darkness. They would follow karma and karma yoga alone. They would also be dumped into darkness. So just want to make sure some of the points I noted, I don't want to miss. But this is not new to the Upanishad. If you remember, we have done the mantra number 3, which we did. It's similar, just an introduction to Jnana Yoga. The mantra number 3 we did was Asurya namate lokaha andhena tamasa vrutaha tamste pratyabhigachanti eke chatmahano janaha. Those who do not follow the knowledge of self path, they're equivalent to killing themselves, because they're not valuing the value of the Atman, and they go to the Asurya Namate Lokaha. They go into worlds they have no sun or darkness. Andhena Tamasa Vrutaha. Those are covered with darkness. This is to glorify the importance of the jnana. Then on mantra number 4 onwards, jnana yoga has been explained. Relative to the absolute truth, anything else is even heaven is absolute is useless, because it's temporary only. It's bound by time. You go there and then you get out there. But Atmajnana is not bound by time. It is you where it is always there. Puranam, we are just saw that. It's Sanatana. Everything appears in it. That's it. So So karma could include, many of our people, we do Daiva Yajna daily, some worship of Bhagavan. We also do Pitru Yajna, we respect our parents and elders, and then offer them tarpanas when they pass. And then we do Brahma Yajna, means giving pravachans, arranging pravachans, studying Vedas. These are all Brahma Yajna, these are all, and respecting people that teach them, sending donations to institutions that support these Vedic causes. Then Manushya Yajna, social service for causes, good causes, and then bhuta yajna, planting trees, feeding birds, not hurting animals. These are all karma yoga only. So they all give value. They all have actual results. According to our scriptures, they take you to Pitruloka after you pass. Pitruloka has a field of experiences there, where our senses are much finer, and then we also have more ability to enjoy them health wise. But it is temporary. So karma takes you to Pitruloka. Then upasana means praying God, meditating upon God, and then also relating to God in our actions. It gives you result which is called Devaloka. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 8, Krishna Gati and Shukla Gati it is called. You go to Devalokas if you do the upasana. So they do give value. They have some intrinsic values. But compared to the realization of self, which is going to the topic earlier we talked about, but if you combine them together, the value is much higher. So the question is, what do you mean by combining together? If you ask the question, it's very, very, very good question. The combination, suppose when you do action, you offer to Bhagavan. Now you are not doing action alone as a karma yogi, but you are including God, upasana. So when you receive some results of action, you accept them gracefully as the prasada. Prasada means when you go to temple, you take suppose a basket full of fruits, and next fellow comes in without any, he doesn't give any fruits. But then the priest offers them to Bhagavan and gives you same number of fruits as he gives to the fellow next to you who did not bring anything. But you don't complain. Because the purpose of going to the temple is purification of the mind. Prasada buddhi, whatever result has come, it is God's gift. That's all. You apply that whole life. So while doing action, you invoke God is the power through whom, through me, is performing the action. So katrutva you dilute. Then when the result comes, you dilute the bhotrutva. Don't keep on saying, I did this, I did this, I did this. Because of me, everything is running. All these things creates, is like you are only following karma. So attitude should be, there is a higher power that running this show. That much you keep in mind, then action as well as upasana go together. That's called samuchaya. That is what they are glorifying in this context. Jnana, obviously, it's already done. Mantra 3 to 8, they glorified jnana. Now they are glorifying the attitude to purify yourself, to be ready for jnana. So karma, you have attitude of surrender, and when the results come, you have attitude of offering. So in other words, because of this, karma yoga reduces your anxiety. Because plus, and also having upasana behind the mind improves your ekagrata, concentrate. So you are ready for jnana marga. That's the point. So some of these famous slokas, which many of you might have heard, how to combine life with Bhagavan's grace. So See, I will chant this. Atma tvam girijamatihi sahacharaha prana shariram gruham pujate vishayopabogarachana nidra samadhistitihi sanchara padayo pradakshina vidhi stotrani sarvagiraha yajjat karma karoti taddadakilam Shambho Tavaradhanam. This is very, very powerful. How to combine action with the attitude of Bhagavan's empowerment. Here he is saying, Atma Tvam. The person who is doing actions, he is telling in his heart of hearts, Atma Tvam, Hey Shiva, you are my true self. Girijamatihi, mother of the universe is my mind. Without myself, my mind doesn't operate. Sahachara pranaha, all my activities that are driven by organs of action, pranaha, they are all the sahacharaha. They are obedient sevaks. And they are operating Sariram Gruham. You, Girija, and then Prana, they are all operating in here. No ego. Pujate Vishayopabogarachana. All the activities of mind are nothing but offerings to you as puja. Nidra samadhistitihi. When my mind stops, I am with you. I am in samadhi. During nidra. Nidra can be while you are, when mind is stopping, losing, doing his provision. That is nidra only. Samadhi only. Sanchara padayo pradakshina vidhi. Whenever I am walking you. You are Shiva everywhere. Every step is nothing more than pradakshina. Vidhi. This is all attitude. This is samuchaya. Work and offering them together is called samuchaya. That is what Upanishad is glorifying. Don't isolate them. Everything is an offering to God. Krishna, Shiva, whatever it is. Stotrani sarva giraha. Every word I speak is in praise of you. What is praise? What is the stotra? Stuti. If you have the attitude, that is stuti only. Every word is directed to you. So if you're talking to somebody, the Shiva is there. Or if by yourself, your thoughts are Shiva. Yat yat karma karoti tat tadakilam. Whatever action I am doing, Shambho Tavaradhanam. It is nothing other than seva to you. Aradhana means worship of you, Bhagavan. See, this is the greatness of Hinduism. If attitude is more important than the action. If the the attitude is proper, spiritual realization is in your hands. Application will automatically follow. What is this after all? You're looking yourself through your own mind. Now, if that mind is now has left its Katrutra bhava and Bhotrutra bhava, through a proper training, then it finds easy to revel in itself. What is samadhi? That is all it is. Mind expands. So this Upanishad is trying to tell us to focus into training ourselves. So So if you go to the, so that's it. So that is why, so mantra number 9 is criticizing each by itself, you do by itself. Mantra number 10 says, Anya Devahur Vidyaya. Now it's coming to some extent, some concession is giving. Vidya has some value. Anyadahur avidyaya. Vidya and upasana. Avidya means karma, karma yoga. So they both have separate values. Iti sushruma dhiranam. Thus we heard from great people, liberated people, yenas tad vichachakshare, by whom it was explained to us. Then mantra number 11 puts the final word on it. What it says? Vidyancha avidyamcha yastad vedo ubhayagum saha. Veda means here work, keep them together or practice them together. Veda here. Vidyam cha avidyam cha. Avidya means karma, avidya means upasana. Yaha vedo ubhayagum saha. Who does them together? Avidyaya murtyum tirtva. That then his karma will help you to cross over mrityu vidya amrutamasnute, and then you attain immense joy. Amrutamasnute. Amrita means actual liberation. In this context, the Shankaracharya and all these people they give you clarity. When you Jnana, there is no action, there is no meditation also. Jnana, you are already that. Karma is not even a question, doesn't even exist in Jnana. You are pure presence, happiness, then things flow through you, you are not any one of them. But when you are not in that state, you have to follow Karma Yoga and Upasana to train yourself. When you train that, avidyaya murtyum tirtva. During the process of that samuchaya, doing them together, what happens? Avidya murtyum tirtva. So avidya will help you to cross over the bondage of mrityu. In this context, it means your mind becomes cheerful, calm, and contemplative. 3 C's. Because you do it samuchaya, you are offering results to higher. So in Vedantic language, sadhana chatushtaya sampanna with increase. Sadhana chatushtaya means viveka, vairagya, shat sampatti, and mumukshutvam. Shat sampatti means sama, dama, uparama, titiksha, shraddha, samadhana. 6 of them. So shama means mental pure quietness. Dama means sense control. Uparama means enjoying yourself by yourself. Titiksha means not complaining for small things in life. Shraddha means ability to focus on whatever you want and then revel in it. And Shraddha Guru Shastra Vakyeshu Vishwasaha, you can say that. When the mind is ready, Vishwasa Guru always automatically comes to you. You know. Then Lakshma Mumukshutva means the willingness for liberation. Spontaneously you feel that automatically. And then you work for it. You value this very highly, you value that. You know. So Mutyu here, Mutyu Avidya Murtyum Tirtva means crossing, getting the qualifications for Jnana by Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. That you increase, mind becomes prepared. And then Vidya, Amrita Masnute means relatively you have that calm and peace and contentment. So basically, Upanishad, even if you don't have immediate, total lack of fear and all that through Jnana, you apply these two together. Selfless lifestyle, offering to Bhagavan, or you thinking yourself as instrument of action, and do this seva activity, Piturajna, Bhutayajna, like that. The five things I mentioned. Devajna, like. Then Manushajna. So when you do this, then you gradually you evolve. Keep Bhagavan in your heart. So this Upanishad, the sorry, 1 minute, I will just couple of slokas from chapter 12 Bhagavad Gita also I will quote because this is very, very directly related to the Upanishadic teaching. So, Sri Krishna in chapter 12 Bhagavad Gita, those who have not fully related to this topic in Bhagavad Gita chapter 12 would find it very, very impressive actually. In slokas from chapter in Bhagavad Gita, um, some 6 to 12, some fascinating slokas are there where Bhagavan Krishna gives you a ladder of how to develop into higher. So I will take couple of them in the current context. Say, he says in verse number 8, because that's just the stage for 9 and 10, he says, Mai eva man adhastva, mai buddhim niveshaya, nivashishyasi mai eva atavurdham na samshayaha. Mayeva mana adhatsva. Put your mind in me. My buddhim niveshaya. Let your intellect revel in me. Then nivashishyasi mayeva. You revel, you live in me. Atavurdham, there is no doubt in this. In that context, what he is saying is Vishwarupa. Just chapter 11 was Vishwarupa Sandarshana. Vishwarupa means everything is Bhagavan's manifestation. Virat. Sri Krishna shows Arjuna that everything is in me, all in one. As I have been telling in the past, everything is appearing in the crystal glow. you know. So Krishna says, I am that crystal glow. Everything is appearing in me. Show, look at it, look at it. You are there too. I'm teaching you, my body is also there as a avatara. Sun is there, thousands of moons are there, stones, stars, all these things Arjuna sees in him as the totality of presence. So he's saying, Mayeva Manadhasva. So if that vision of Vishwarupa, he said that. Then the current context follows, 9 and 10 follows. He says, Adhachittam samadhatum nasaknoshi mayisthiram abhyasa yogena tataha mamichhaptum dhananjaya. If you cannot do that constantly with that sense of divinity, seeing divinity everywhere in Vishwarupa, Virat Sandarshana, Athachittam samadhatum nasaknosi mai sthiram. If you are not able to do that, mai sthiram, Vishwarupa, sense of presence of godliness everywhere, then do what? Abhyasa yogena tataha mamichhaptum dhananjaya. You do abhyasa. This is what the Upanishad is telling, abhyasa. Samuchaya abhyasa. What is the definition of abhyasa? Chittasya ekasmin alambane sarvataha samahurtya punaha punaha sthapanam abhyasaha. Bhagavan Shankaracharya commentary in that context he writes. Mind reveling in one thing. You take as your Ishta Devata. All pervading is Vishwa. That's called Vishwarupa. But Ekarupa you can take. Anekarupa, if you are not ready, Ekarupa you can do. Shiva. That's why Chittasya ekasmin alambane sarvataha samahur. Withdrawing from everywhere in one Punah punah sthapanam abhyasa. That is abhyasa. Keeping, reveling in one. So you say, Shiva, I'm walking, all my steps are pradakshina to you. My mind is your mother of the universe. Like that, you revel. My talks are towards you, like that. That is abhyasa. So abhyasa yoge mamichana. So basically, our rishis have developed a system. You do these two together and then you drop it and then you do this like that. That system is to make you ready. So, so if the bottom line is Atman, which is Nirakara, Nirguna, and has no qualities, nothing, then why are you saying all this? Because you are not ready. Why you are not ready? Your mind is not able to revel in itself. It is always reveling an outside object. So, in order to help us, the rishis have provided these steps. This is called upasana. Upasana definition is sadhakanam hitardhaya brahmanaha rupakalpana. So, if you are worshipping an idol, rishis are telling you are all pervading. Idol itself is a means to let you go towards the ideal, not the idol. When you do samuchaya, you don't get bogged down. You get a vision. So Rishis as Upasana means sadhakanam hitardhaya brahmano rupakalpana. Brahmana means is all pervading Atma Lakshanas I just explained in the beginning of the class itself. So if you are not ready, Upasakanam, sadhakanam hitardhaya, for our hitam means for our benefit. This is the process the rishis have prepared. And then in that process, they have given a form, a name, and then namas for us to focus on. That is upasana. So now Krishna says, if you cannot concentrate on Vishwarupa, you concentrate on Ekarupa. That is upasana, right? If you cannot do that also, he says, Krishna says, abhyasepi asamardhosi. If you are not able to even do abhyasa, they have given you a forum, they have given you qualities, they have given you stories, they have put some glorious stotras, all that. But then you cannot do, somehow your mind is still going all over the place. So abhyasaopi asamardhosi. If you cannot even do abhyasa, matkarma paramo bhava. Bhagavan Sri Krishna's sentence. Do karma yoga. Keeping me in your heart. Matkarma paramo bhava. Madadhamapi karmani kurvan siddhim avapsasi. Even doing karma yoga, keeping me, offering it to me, even then you get siddhi. Siddhi means you graduate to a higher level. You get a guru and you get your mind revels in teaching. So ekagrata and also purity of mind both will come. Purity means less number of thoughts. Ekagrata means ability to revel on one thought. Both of them are required for spiritual progress. So when you do not have that clarity, when we actually go in all directions, then what happens? We need the karma yoga and we need also upasana. So the Upanishad is saying, you combine them together, then only you would actually go past mrityu by karma yoga. Means your mind becomes less agitated. Then vidyaya amrutam asnute. Your mind becomes able to remain in ekagrata, steadiness of mind will come, you will feel bliss. That's not liberation. That is the state of bliss. Feeling good. Many of us do pujas. Many of us go to temples, but they're very short-lived, because we don't have vision. When you combine these two, and he also have that sense, when you are walking, when you are talking, when you are connected, then it becomes more natural. You know. So there is a beautiful subhashita. Subhashita means good teachings, good words. This is Vipado naiva vipadaha, sampado naiva sampadaha. Vipado naiva vipadaha, sampado naiva sampadaha. Vipad vishmaranam vishnoho, sampad narayana smritihi. Vipad vishmaranam vishnoho, sampad narayana smritihi. The meaning of this is Vipado naiva vipadaha. Vipadaha means calamity. Vipat. Vipato naiva vipadaha. Vipat is not really a vipat. There is no calamity really. Sampado naiva sampadaha. Sampadaha means you some gain in life. Sampado naiva sampadaha. Any gain or any wealth, anything you acquire is not really a sampada. What is vipat then? Vipat vishmaranam Vishnu. The true calamity is forgetting Lord Vishnu. He is all pervading. Vishnu means all pervading. Vipadam Vishmaranam Vishnu. Sampad Narayana Smritihi. Sampat means again, any gain is actually feeling and remembering Narayana. Now, if you really understand the meaning of Narayana means supporter of all beings in the world. Which what is consciousness? But don't go to consciousness. Just take Narayana as a supporter of the whole universe. That's upasana. That is Vishwarupa upasana, I can say. So, Vipad Vismaranam Vishnu. The actual calamity is not remembering grace of God. Then Ahankara will take over. Then Murtyu is that Ahankara is Murtyu. You know. So we do a lot of chanting of Upanishads and we do a lot of these things. But then what we do when we are chanting the Vishnu Sahasranama, we have Dhyana Sloka. When we are chanting Lalita Sahasranama, we have Dhyana Sloka. But then we quickly go over them because we want to get to the Vishnu Lalita Sahasranama and then go to the Lalita. But the truth is that is where you have to invoke the grace. You have to connect. That connection, samuchaya, that's what they are talking about here. Samuchaya means doing together. Action and thought, they both should be centered on higher ideal. Which is higher ideal? The Bhagavan you are, Upasana you are. That put it in your heart. Then you do that, then very quickly you make progress. So Upanishad is teaching, that's exactly what it is saying. Vidyancha avidyancha yastatu vedo ubhayam saha. Whoever does them together. Don't isolate karma from upasana. Don't drop God from karma and then don't drop karma from upasana. In the karma, during the upasana stage, you think he is the God, I am the sevak. Some activity of karma is still there. And mind I am offering to you, like that. When you are actually acting physically also, you are the source. You are the energy that is driving this machine. So both places, ubhayam saha, when you do it together, then avidyaya murtyum tirtva. Then your karma helps you to purify your mind. That is called murtyu here. Oh, Shankaracharya's Bhashya is that. Then Vidya will give you peace, piousness. The same Upasana will be more powerful. Our Gurudev always used to say, why don't you have peaceful meditation? Why are you still peaceless in meditation also? Why? The reason is to say his meditation is only half an hour. But he used to say 23 and a half hours in preparation, he used to say. What does it mean? Your mind should be also revel in God during the don't nonsense. You should not be constantly thinking nonsense. Then what happens when you sit for meditation? The momentum is so fast you cannot stop it. So the Upanishad is saying samuchaya. You during the whole day, whatever your capacity is, whatever you can do, have a quiet mind and then have a sense of gratitude and you have a sense of support by God behind you. And then when you're actually doing it also, you have that clarity. Don't separate them. So samuchaya is what they are recommending. This is the essential teaching. So if you don't do them together, then each of them is separate. It has separate but smaller value. You know. So mantra number 10 saying Anya Devahur Vidya. The value, there is some value, but when you do together, you get lot more value. In order to emphasize the joint effort combining meditation and action, they have criticized this doing by themselves separately in the mantra number 9. It is not to criticize Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, but it is only to highlight the value of them, combine them together. So that is how this is. So in the next mantra, they are going to highlight next three mantras. They talk about how to combine upasanas also. So these are all part of karma yoga. These are all part of those upasana and karma together are also called karma yoga. Jnana. So whole Vedas are divided into two: karma section and then upasana section. Not sorry, karma section and jnana section. Purva bhaga and uttara bhaga. Purva bhaga has karma yoga and also upasana, but together they are called karma also. That's why. That's why this karma purva mimamsa. So that is what now this is focused on, how to perform the Purva Mimamsa part of Vedas. So they are saying combine them and they have an attitude of Katrutva and Bhotrutva. When result come, offer to God. When you are doing action also, tell God you are doing it. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om